There we go. Okay. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for joining us today for Thursday afternoon Zoom yoga. We are going to begin today with our breath on our backs, and we're going to focus a little bit on the muscles of our rib cage. So come take a minute and get yourself nice and comfy so that we can lay down. So please make sure as we do this first part that you are propped, which may mean a little something underneath your legs. And it may mean a little something underneath your head and neck if that's what you need, or it may mean that you might need a blanket, okay? So as we come down, take a moment and just fidget in order to get yourself nice and comfortable. So usually when we practice our diaphragmatic breath, we let the focus be on the low belly, and then we just simply bring the breath all the way up to behind our heart, but we keep the focus on the low belly. Today, we're going to place some focus on the rib cage, because our rib cage actually can extend in 3 different directions. We can open our rib cage to the front, so we can expand to the front. We can open our rib cage to the sides, so our breath can come side to side. And we can also open the back of our rib cage away from our bodies as we breathe that way. So what we'll be doing is we'll be separating each of the sections so that we can practice, and then we'll put them all together. So on this first section, as we move into our breath, we're going to do 5 cycles of breath for each one. What I want you to do, if possible, is just kind of place your fingertips on your sternum in between your chest. And as you take the inhale, rather than beginning it from the low belly, I want you to focus the inhale through the rib cage and begin as you inhale to feel your sternum and the front of your rib cage to open to the front. And then what will also happen as you inhale is that the sternum will also begin to move upward. And then as you exhale, just allow everything to relax and feel the rib cage move back into its neutral position. And again, as you begin your inhale, the other thing that happens is that not only does the sternum in the front of the rib cage move up, but the muscles that live in between your ribs, your intercostal muscles, also shorten and tighten just a little bit. And then as you exhale, they expand and soften and relax. So just like all of your other muscles, as they contract, they pull. So let's go ahead and continue with your cycle of breath. I want you to do the next 2 cycles of breath and just really focus on feeling the sensation of your sternum and the front of the rib cage as it moves out and up. Once you've completed your 5 cycles of breath, then what I invite you to do is to either, with your hands like this, a little bit like L shape, wrap your hands around your rib cage, or you can place palms, fingers facing down against each side of your rib cage. So for these 5 cycles of breath, I want you to let the focus be on the lateral sides of your rib cage, so that as you gently inhale, you can feel the rib cage press into each of your hands. And then as you exhale, you simply allow the rib cage to relax and come back to neutral position. And again, as you inhale, connect into the sensations that your rib cage makes. extending and expanding side to side. And as you exhale, feel that movement of the rib cage as it moves back into its neutral position. Again, I want you to continue with three more cycles of breath, 5 counts in, or excuse me, however long in that you need, but 3 more cycles, so that you can connect in with the expansion from side to side. And this expansion happens all the way up the rib cage. So see if you can begin to feel that expansion move all the way up. And the top rib actually lives underneath the collarbone. So this is actually a very large area of space and bone that moves. And then finally, I want you to begin to connect into the sensation of how it feels to breathe into the back side of the rib cage where your scapulas live. So for this particular piece, because we're lying on our backs, we have our mat to be our hands. You can place your hands on that low belly, and as you inhale, really connect into the sensation of feeling the back side of the rib cage and your shoulder blades press into the mat. And then as you exhale, notice how that release feels as you allow your body to come back to neutral. And again, feel the back of the rib cage press into the mat. As you exhale, feel that pressure release as the rib cage comes back into neutral. And then again, 3 more times at your speed. Practice gently taking the back of the rib cage into the mat, and then gently releasing that pressure. Notice that as you do this, how the rest of the rib cage is really pretty quiet. Not a lot of movement through the sides, not a lot of movement through the front. Keeping the focus into the back of the rib cage. When you finish with those 5 cycles of breath, what I invite you to do next for the last 5 cycles of breath is to feel the connection through all 3 parts. So using that slow, steady, continuous feeling breath, you're going to very gently, slowly inhale and feel the front of the rib cage lift and come up, the sides of the rib cage float open laterally, and the back of the rib cage press into the mat. And notice that as you move into moving in all 3 directions at one time, if you have an area of your rib cage that feels like it wants to take over the breath rather than sharing it with the other directions and the other parts of the rib cage, so the trick here is to practice feeling each of the three directions equally, or as equally as possible. And when you get finished with your 5, gently bring your hands over your heart. Okay. All right, you guys. So from here, we're going to now move into our sound and our song. So we'll sing the sound of ah together, we'll sing the sound of o, and then the sound of e. In your 4th breath, please set your intent for what you most desire and what you most need in your practice today. Okay? And since we've been focusing on the rib cage, as you sing, I want you to see how much vibration you can feel through your lungs and into your rib cage as you make sound. So when you're ready, slow, full inhale. And then when you're ready, gently, slowly, let your eyes open. Let a gentle smile come up to the corners of your mouth. We're going to begin with a little bit of core work. So you're going to need a block. I'm going to go ahead and move the chair just out of the way for a little bit. Okay. So you can continue to use a bolster underneath your knees if you choose, or you can flatten completely. That's up to you. You're going to grab your block, and you have your choice. You can either put your block between your feet this way, you can put your block between your feet this way, or you can put your block between your feet that way. Okay? So take what is going to feel best for you. I want you to see how it feels to hold on to it by activating through your adductor muscles gently. Okay? Also, feeling the connection all the way down to the inner parts of the ankles and the inner parts of the foot. Since we're going to do a little bit of core work, you know that your low back might feel a little ouchy. You're going to gently roll your hips from side to side and allow your hands, palms facing down, to just act as a little bit of additional support so that way you can keep the focus in the core. Please remember that at all times, we're yearning and working towards sensations that feel good, something that we want to lean into. So if you feel like you're working at 100%, just keeping your legs vertical, keeping the block in between your feet, then that's awesome. If you're working at 100%, then that's all you need to do. If you feel like your body has a little bit more and would like to do a little bit more, What we're going to do first is we're going to take our legs and our block. We're going to take a slow, steady inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to gently, slowly bring both legs up towards our face and a little bit over towards the left. Breathe here. Continue to let those inner thighs do their work. And then gently, we're going to begin to allow the legs to float down towards the floor. This does not need to be a big movement. What I'm looking for is for you to have the connection through the right lateral side and also into the front. So we're going to be working a little bit of the obliques. And then you're going to inhale, bring the legs back up to center. And then again, when you're ready, I want you to bring the legs forward and this time a little bit over to the right. And just breathe there for a second. Find your body, find how it feels on this side, and then very gently, very slowly begin to drop those legs a little bit over to the right. Beautiful. Everybody looks fabulous. Good. And then inhale, very gently, slowly, bring yourself back up. Now, if you need to, please readjust the block, making sure that it's still steady. From here, you're going to take a slow, steady inhale. And then again, as you exhale gently, begin to lower straight down. So it's if you were a clock and your head was 12 o'clock, you're moving your legs towards 6 o'clock. And again, you're only going as far as is comfortable. Breathe. And then you're going to inhale and bring it back up. This time, as long as your hips stay stable and you don't need your hands propped underneath your hips, what we're going to do this time is that as the legs move down towards 6 o'clock, we're going to bring our arms up over our head. So when you're ready, slow, steady inhale. And as you exhale, gently draw the legs down and bring the arms up over your head. Breathe. And then when you're ready, exhale, gently bring the legs up and allow the arms to come back down. Gently bend into the knees, take the block with your hands, yum, and I want you to go ahead and lightly interlace your fingers either underneath and behind the right knee or just over the right kneecap, and gently allow that left leg to extend. As you're here, you can allow this right leg to come just a little bit out to the lateral side of the rib cage. Breathe. Gently squeeze. Slow, steady breath. If your body decides that it would like to do upward lifting breath or ujjayi breath, which is where you gently narrow the back of the throat so you make a slight snoring noise, that's great too. And then when you're ready from here, I want you to release the right hand. So you're doing this either with the hand behind the knee or the hand just over the kneecap. Allow the right arm to float out and then very gently, very slowly begin to bring the right leg over towards the left. And you're going to do this until you feel a little bit of sensation along through the right glute and potentially along the lateral side by your hip. Slow, steady breath here. Now, because we're in a little bit of a twist, I would like to encourage everybody to really place the focus on the lateral side of the rib cage as they breathe. So feel the breath move into the right side of the rib cage and also feel the breath move into the left side of the rib cage. If you choose to stimulate the brain and the muscle connection, I want you to gently squeeze through that right glute and press the right leg into the left hand. Continue to focus and breathe. One more cycle of breath. And then gently, slowly release. Allow this right leg to float down. Take a moment to connect into that right side now. If you need to readjust your shoulders, please feel free to do so. You want everything so that it's in one neutral line. Then when you're ready, gently bend into the left knee. Again, you're going to interlace either behind the knee in order to moderate flexion into the kneecap, or you can interlace your fingers just below the kneecap if that's not an issue. And again, allow the leg to come just out to the lateral side of the rib cage. Breathe, feel your body soften. Slow, steady inhale, slow, steady exhale. Feel that gentle opening. And then from here, when you're ready, now this right hand is going to come over the top of the left knee. Left hand floats out, T formation, and very gently, very slowly, begin to bring this left leg over towards the right. Again, you're only moving as far as is necessary so that you can begin to feel the opening back in through this left glute and then possibly also around the joint of the hip. Again, since we are in a gentle twist, allow the awareness of your breath this time to move into that left rib cage as it's moving up and away, and the right rib cage as it's grounding into the mat. And again, if you want to move into that brain muscle connection, gently squeeze into that left glute and push that left leg into the right hand. So again, there's no movement. We're simply activating and we're helping to reset and reconnect the neuromuscular function between the muscle and the brain. Breathe. Slow, steady breath. And then very gently, very slowly release that. Okay. And allow that left leg now to come down. Feel the connection into the lower part of the body. So coming from below the rib cage all the way down towards the toes. Once you feel that connection, we're going to go ahead and again take our block. And one more time, we're going to go ahead and do a second set. I want you to go ahead and place the block in between your feet. Find the activation between the adductors, the inner thighs. Find the connection in between the ankles and the inner edge of the foot, the medial edge of the foot. Once again, if you feel that you need to, please feel free to place your hands, palms facing down underneath the sacrum or the back side of the pelvis, just to make sure that you're keeping that low back safe and you're asking the core to engage. So again, when you're ready, we're going to begin moving over towards the left. So the legs are going to come up, ease over towards the left, gently allow them to lower down a little bit, breathe. Feel the connection into this right side of the body. Now, if your body says yes, you have two choices here. You can either draw the legs back up to the vertical the way we did before, or you can allow them to finish the half circle by sweeping down and then coming up. 6 o'clock, up, back, vertical. So just something that's a little slightly different. That makes it a little bit more challenging. Again, now I want you to bring your legs a little bit closer to you, and this time up and over to the right. Again, as long as your body says yes, you're going to allow them to rotate out and down towards the side a little bit. This time I want you to feel the connection through that left side of your torso. And again, you have the option. You can either bring the legs straight up, or if your body says yes and you would like to do a little bit more, you can finish the half circle by sweeping down towards 6 o'clock and then bringing your legs and the block back up. Go ahead. If you need to readjust the block, please do so. Okay. And now from here, take a slow, steady inhale, and then as we exhale, squeezing the legs together, gently, slowly draw the block and the legs down towards 6 o'clock. And again, please remember, only take it to the sensation where it feels good, where it feels sustainable, where you can continue to breathe, where your body is not trying to escape from the engagement. And then gently, slowly inhale back up. Beautiful. Good. Last one. If your body says yes, you can remove your hands from underneath your hips, let them come down to the side. This time, as the legs go down, the arms are going to come up above the head. So gently, slowly, as you take a deep inhale, get ready, and as you exhale, legs come down, arms come up. See if you can make this a smooth, matched movement. Breathe. Beautiful. Nicely done. Everyone looks gorgeous. And then gently, slowly inhale. Bring yourself back up. Bend into the knees. Remove the block. Very nice. This time we're going to go ahead and take whichever variation of Ananda Balasana, Blissful Baby, feels best. First variation is to simply allow the soles of the feet to draw towards each other and allow the hands to wrap at the ankles. Knees come out to the sides. If you'd like to move into something that's a little deeper, please feel free to bring the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, palms across the soles, and breathe. If your body says yes, you can gently, slowly rock yourself from side to side. And from here, you can either remain here with a relaxed, open stretch, or again, if you choose and your body would like to work the brain-muscle connection, what you're going to do here is gently squeeze through the glutes and press the soles of the feet into the hand. So again, as you squeeze and as you press, there's no movement. What we're working towards is making sure that all of the muscle fibers are activating when asked to do so by the brain. So squeeze and breathe. Squeeze and breathe. One last time, squeeze and breathe. And then gently relax. Let everything soften once again. If your body says yes, you can gently rock just a little bit from side to side. And then gently, slowly release. I want you to go ahead, choose whichever side feels best. Roll yourself over, press yourself up into seated, and now we're going to go ahead and come onto our bellies. We're going to do this just to make sure that we have as much opening as we need for our belly. Since we did some core work, now we need to go ahead and just gently lengthen it out. So now that we're on our bellies, what I invite you to do, okay, is just go ahead and allow your body to come up onto your forearms, looking at yourself in the computer to make sure that elbow and shoulder are in approximately a vertical line. Fingers are spread wide. So as we move into Sphinx pose, I want you to feel the connection through the front of your hip bones down into your pelvis. And rather than lifting, what I want you to do is gently press back. So leading with the elbows are ever so gently moving towards the waist. And then in that space, gently open the front of your abdominals forward towards your fingers. So it's just a very gentle push-pull. So you're pulling back with the elbows and the fingers, and you're gently opening forward through the front, making sure that at no time is this feeling uncomfortable in the low back. And then from here, you're going to gently release that. Walk your hands up and gently press yourself either into puppy pose, if that's what feels best for flexion in the knees. So puppy pose is with the hips higher, arms out wide, very top of the forehead resting on the mat. Or if flexion of the knees feels okay for your body, gently press those hips all the way down towards the heels and the soles of the feet. And again, top of the forehead is resting on the mat. So either position is completely okay. I want you just to simply take care of yourself and your body. What feels best for you? Beautiful. Everyone looks fabulous. Good. Okay. Gently, slowly release from this posture, bringing yourself back into tabletop. Okay. So as we move through this next sequence of postures, please make sure that you will have your chair handy as well as one of your blocks. You won't need them for the first round, but we will need them in a little bit. Okay. So we're here in tabletop. We're going to be here for a little bit. So if knees are an issue for you, meaning that they get grumpy when you're on them, please make sure that you add a layer of blanket or another pad. Again, if this is too much extension for your wrist, please put a little bit of padding underneath the base of the palm to take that amount of extension out. So this first part is I want you to feel how your body moves when your eyes are open, okay? So when you are using your vision to help you stabilize as you move on the mat. So for example, how does it feel if you just simply extend the left leg, okay? And then notice how your body adjusts if you decide you're going to raise and lengthen into your right arm. You're engaging your core as you're doing this. Beautiful. You're feeling length and strength through the leg and the arm. And just notice how your body micro moves in order to keep yourself steady as you do this. Gently bring that right arm down, bring that left leg in. Now we're going to do the same with the opposite pairing. Please notice if there is a difference in sensation as you do this pairing. Gently lengthen into the right leg. Good. Gently lengthen into the left arm. Notice if you feel a perception of difference of stability on this side. Do you feel more stable when you do this side, or do you feel a little less? Notice any other sensations that your body is giving you as you're here. Beautiful. Again, focusing on the core. Gently, slowly release. Take a moment in between, and let's just use a breath to do a gentle cow. And then let's use a breath to do a gentle cat. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to do this again. So gently lengthen into the left leg. Gently lengthen into the right arm. Once you have your arm and your leg up, close your eyes. Take a moment with your eyes closed to notice if there is a difference in how your body moves to keep yourself stable when you are not using your vision. Open your eyes back up, gently release, leg and hand. We're going to do the same thing with the second pairing. Gently lengthen into the right leg. Gently lengthen into the left arm. When you feel stable here, close your eyes. Notice if there is a difference in how the sensation feels as you move through this pairing. Gently open the eyes, release the arm, release the leg. Again, take a cycle of breath to do a gentle cow. And then take a cycle of breath to do a gentle cat. This time, we're going to begin from tabletop. So find stability in tabletop and then close your eyes. With your eyes closed, lengthen into the left leg. With your eyes closed, lengthen into the right arm. Take a moment to notice if with your eyes closed from the very beginning, if there is a difference in sensation within your muscles, within your proprioception, in order to keep your body upright. Release the right arm, release the left leg. Eyes are still closed. Reconnecting with yourself in tabletop, eyes are still closed. Take a moment to extend into the right leg. When you're ready, extend into the left arm. With your eyes still closed, take a moment to notice if there is a difference as you hold this posture without sight. Gently release the left arm, release the right leg. Breathe. One more time. Gentle cow. One more time. Gentle cat. In order to do this next piece, what I invite you to do in order just to make sure that everyone stays safe is please take your chair and bring it along your left side. Putting it about the middle of where your trunk is. And then you're going to come back to tabletop. Okay. Now, there's two ways to come up for this next part. First way is to come back, hands to hips, on the knees, and just simply step the right leg forward, okay? If you'd like to try something a little more fancy dancy, we're going to start in tabletop. You'll extend your right leg, bring it out to the side, which is going to shift your body balance, and then bring the knee into the center and step forward Ooh, yeah. Okay. And then gently walk yourself up. Okay. Either way is fine. I just want to give everybody options. Okay. So here we go. So for this first piece, we're going to do it with eyes open so that you can feel your body. Because we are now have the right sole of the foot on the floor, I want you to spread wide through the toes and take a moment to feel the grip of your mat and also the texture. If you're feeling at all uncomfortable, squeeze into the left glute a little bit, okay? From here, what I want you to do is, as long as it feels good, gently allow your pelvis to move down and forward so that you begin to open into that left upper quadricep. From here, bring the right forearm on top of the right knee. Inhale, sweep that left arm up, and then exhale, gently round yourself over that right side. So we're not moving forward, we're actually moving laterally. Lovely, beautiful, that looks great. Good. And then inhale, bring yourself back up. Allow the pelvis to come out slightly, hands come to the hips. As long as your body says yes, you're going to curl underneath those left toes and then gently bring yourself up into high lunge. Breathe. Beautiful. Nicely done. Know that you have your chair right here, so if any time you need to rebalance, your chair's right here. And in fact, take a moment and place the left fingers on the seat of the chair, just so that you know that it's there. Lovely. When you're ready, gently, slowly bend back into that left leg and come down. Good. All right, here we go. First part, right here, balanced with the knee on the floor. Allow the pelvis to come forward and down, and then close your eyes. Notice how your body feels in this position, using just your feet and your ears, your vestibular proprioception, to balance. And remember, you've got that chair seat right there on the left hand in case you need to rest your hand on it. Gently release that, open the eyes. Okay, again, now what I want you to do is curl underneath those left toes, lengthen yourself into high lunge. Breathe. As long as you feel steady and strong here, close your eyes. Breathe. Notice what your body does in order to keep yourself upright. Remember that you have the chair right to the left. You can always place your left hand on the chair. Gently release, bend into the knee. Okay, and from here, we're going to take a short break. Bring that right leg back and bring yourself down for either whatever variation feels best, whether it's puppy or child's pose. Take a break. Let your body relax. Beautiful, you guys. One more cycle of breath. And then gently, slowly release. You're going to either move your chair or yourself so that the chair is now on the right side. So you have the same options as we had before. You can either begin from your knees and step that left foot forward, or if you want to do something a little bit more, you can kick that left leg back, swing it out to the side, bend into the knee, and lightly place the foot down, sidestepping it into place on the mat. Whichever you use feels best for you. Now take a moment before we take ourselves in anymore. I want you to take that right hand and just lightly put it on the chair seat, just so that you know, your body knows it's right there, always there as an assist. Hands come back to the hips, unless it's needed for the hand to stay on the chair. Gently, slowly allow the pelvis to move forward and down. Making sure that as needed, you're squeezing into that right glute. Breathe. Remember, this first one we are doing with our eyes open, the full sequence. Curl underneath those right toes. Bring the pelvis back slightly so that you have good position for movement, and then gently lengthen and up into high lunge. Notice if you feel a difference in terms of balance on this side. Breathe. Take one more full cycle of breath right here. And then gently bend back into that right knee and come on back to the top of the right foot. Okay. One more thing we forgot. I want you to go ahead and take this left forearm, bringing it on top of the left thigh. Inhale, lengthen through that right arm, and gently roll yourself a little bit over to the left side. Again, moving in a lateral direction. Breathe. And release. Okay, here we go. This time, I want you to begin here and close your eyes once you feel completely connected. Notice how this feels. If possible, and your body says yes, gently bring the pelvis forward and down, opening into the front of the right leg. Breathe. And then gently, slowly release. Here we go. From here, eyes are open, pelvis is back in neutral so that you have one long vertical line through the torso down to the pelvis. Curl underneath the toes. When you're ready, gently lengthen that back leg, that right leg. Bring yourself into high lunge, and if your body says yes, close your eyes. Notice what happens on this side. You may find that you have one side that is a little bit more dominant than the other, meaning that it is easier for you with eyes closed to find the balance. Gently, slowly release, open the eyes. Hands come to the seat if needed. Curl and drop that right foot. Release the right knee. Step back. And are we ready? Down we come. Take either puppy dog or child's pose. Breathe and soften. From here, gently release for a moment. I want you to come down onto the forearms. You're still on your knees. Lightly interlace your fingers. If your body is tired, just stay here. If your body says, no, there's more that I would like to do, you're going to take yourself up and into dolphin. So you're going to curl underneath both toes. Lift the knees, and then gently lift the hips, lengthening into the legs. Adjust the feet. They're either going to be hip distance or slightly wider. Breathe. As you're here, play with the shoulders. See if you can make sure that you are not placing any undue stress on the shoulders. Feel the bottom part of the shoulder blades slide down to the waist. And then feel the lateral edges of the shoulder blades begin to wrap around the outside edges of the rib cage. Chin is tucked up and in. Breathe. Knees are bent as much as you need to, you guys. And then gently release that. Bend back into the knees, come back into the tops of the feet. Gently walk the hands in. All right. How did that feel, everybody? I need a thumbs up if that was okay. Good. Do you guys want to try one more set, this time with eyes closed from beginning to end? Yes or no? Yes? Okay. If that feels like that's too much, Janice is like, no. Take it to the level that feels okay. All right? So it's like keep your eyes open and then shut them for a moment. Eyes back open. Okay? So please make sure I don't want anybody going, I don't like this. Everybody needs to like it, so please use it at a level that feels good for you, okay? So again, we're going to change either ourselves or our chair so that the chair is again on the left side. We're going to make this last set a little bit easier. So we're going to start from our knees, hands on the hips. And when you're ready, I want you to bring that right leg forward, okay? Now, this is the fun part. If you need to do this entire thing with your left hand on the seat of your chair, please do so, because here's what's going to happen. From this point on, we will have our eyes closed. So, or if that's too much, keep your eyes open and only shut your eyes when it feels safe. So when you're ready, if your body says yes, close your eyes. Curl underneath those left toes. Lift yourself up and into high lunge. Eyes are still closed. You're breathing. Please do not hold your breath here. Notice how your body feels. And then when you're ready, eyes still closed, if possible. Gently exhale, drop into that left knee, come onto the top of the left foot. With your eyes still closed, if possible, step that right foot back. Beautiful. How did it go? Thumbs up? Were we okay? Awesome. Here we go. Change the chair or change your direction. Are we ready? Again, you've got your seat right there. Gently, when you're ready, bring that left leg forward. From here, if your body says yes, close your eyes. Curl underneath those right toes. When your body says yes, lift and lengthen into that right leg. High lunge. Breathe. Observe where your balance is on this side. One more cycle of breath. And then when you're ready, gently exhale, bending into that right knee, coming on top of the right foot. Eyes still closed if possible. Step that left foot back. Open your eyes. Okay, how did we do with that one, y'all? Thumbs up, were we good? Awesome. Go team, you guys. That's beautiful work. Is everybody getting nice and warm? Did we do enough to create a glow? Yes. Okay, good. Awesome sauce. All right, so we're going to take a short break. We're going to sit in our chairs. Hallelujah. Grab your block. Okay. So We're going to let our low back stretch a little bit, and we're going to do this in the sweetest, nicest way that I know to do it. So let your legs open, okay? They can be very wide. And gently, slowly, with your breath, as you exhale, slowly begin to slide your legs down for the block. So you're only going to go as far forward as your back says that it would like to go. So it might mean that your hands are on the block. As your body relaxes into this, if your torso and your body and your hips say that you can do a little bit more, and you're close, please remember you have a tall side to the block. So gently place the head on the block, hands come to hold the block stable, either side, thumbs along the bottom, fingers at the side. And just allow your body to soften here for a moment. Slow, steady inhale. Slow, steady exhale. Just feeling the body neutralize after doing some really big work through our proprioceptive senses. So through our feet, through our ankles, through our ears. Letting everything relax, letting everything release. One more cycle of breath. And if your head is on the block, place your hands next to the forehead, thumbs along the side, gently press up, hands come back, bring it all the way up, gently, slowly, good. Okay, you guys, we're going to move ourselves into just some simple twists each side. So we're going to begin by twisting over towards the left. So what I invite you to do is make the adjustment through the hips first. So allow this left hip to ease back just a little bit and allow the right hip to ease forward. Doesn't have to be big movement, okay? Left hand is going to be along the outer edge of your chair seat. Inhale, lengthen into that right hand. And when you're ready, exhale. And what I want you to do is feel the engagement through that left side. So squeeze through the left side of your trunk, pulling that right side round. Allow your hand to come down so that it comes to the outside of that left thigh. And now, if it feels comfortable, you can move that left hand to the chair back. And just breathe here. Again, come back to focus of breathing in all three directions through the rib cage. From this twisted position. Take a moment as you focus on breathing into all three directions of the rib cage, how it feels to breathe into that right side of the rib cage. What happens when you focus your breath on that right side of the rib cage? Does it ease the twist for you a little bit? One more cycle of breath. And then very gently, very slowly, take that right arm, inhale, bring it up, and allow it to sweep all the way across and down. Allow your hips to come back into neutral position. Moving now for a twist towards the right. I want you to take this right hip and ease it back just a little bit and allow the left hip to ease forward just slightly. When you're ready, right hand is down by the side. Inhale, lengthen into the left. Beautiful. Exhale, gently twist. This time I want you to feel the pull through the right side of the trunk, helping to bring that left side round. Gently lower that left hand to the outside of the right thigh, and when you're ready, bring that right hand to the back of the chair. Breathe here. Again, placing the focus on opening the rib cage in 3 directions. Notice as you do that how that changes the twist. Still activating gently through that right side. One more cycle of breath. And then very gently, very slowly sweep that left arm all the way up, around, and down. Roll the shoulders, feel the hips move back. And from here, we're going to go ahead and come down onto our mats. If you choose for your final relaxation, you'd like to use your chair, keep that handy. Okay, we're going to finish today with our eye of the needle posture. So gently, slowly coming back down. Before we move into that, take a moment, let your feet be just gently wider than your hips, just a little bit. Feel that reconnection with the back, lower and middle upper, all parts. Notice how that feels. And then very gently, we're just going to do one set of windshield wipers. So just gently allow both legs to roll over towards the left, bringing that right side up just a little bit. Again, breathe a little bit laterally so you can breathe into that right rib cage and the left. Making sure that this is not putting any untoward tension into your right knee. If it is, please bring the knee up slightly. Then gently, slowly release, bring the legs up. Readjust, making sure that all parts feel that they are in neutral. And then when you're ready, gently lower both legs over to the left. Bringing that left hip up slightly, left rib cage up slightly. Breathe. Beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. Again, making sure that there is not any untoward tension in the left knee. Gently release that. Bring both legs up. From here, once you've realigned through your trunk, gently bring legs up in the air. Bend into that left knee. Place the left ankle across the thigh just above the knee. Left hand is going to come through. Right hand is going to come round. First part of this is to just simply interlace the fingers behind the knee and then bend the knee over the hands. If your body says yes and would like to do a little bit more, you can interlace your fingers just below the kneecap. So please do what feels best for you. Play with your breath. You can play in many different ways so that as you inhale, you can millimeter by millimeter gently draw that right knee in towards you. And then as you exhale, millimeter by millimeter, release it. It all depends on the sensation you feel around the outer edge of the glute and into the hip. This is always a good place to practice connecting the brain to your muscle fibers. So if you choose to squeeze into that left glute, allowing that left knee to move gently away from you, that's great. Breathe. Again, this isn't really about movement. This is simply about finding that muscle activation. And you can let that relax. Just take a moment and play. We have another option coming up. So if your body's really happy here and you would like to stay, please feel free to leave yourself here. If your body feels like it would like just one more twist, what you're going to do is release your hands and then gently drop that right foot down onto the floor. And then from here, gently, with the knee still open, you're going to gently roll yourself a little bit over to the right. So again, you're only going as far as your body is telling you to go. So here we have two options. You can either remain in eye of the needle pose, or you can take this into a little bit of a twist. Whatever your body is telling you it needs. Please make sure that wherever you are in the space of sensation that feels welcoming, that feels like it's something that you want to lean in towards because it feels really good, safe, and welcoming. Wherever you are, very gently, very slowly, begin to find your way out and lengthen both legs up so that they are next to each other. When you're ready, gently bring that right leg across just above the left knee. Right hand comes through the hole, left hand comes around the outside. First variation, interlace the fingers just behind the knee, fold the lower leg over. If your body says yes, interlace your fingers just below the kneecap. Please take whichever variation feels best for you. Take a moment to notice the sensation that you have on this side. Because we use our bodies asymmetrically, meaning that we ask different things from each side of our body when we do bilateral movements, meaning that we are asking something on each side that is approximately equivalent, the sensation will be different. Be aware of that. Again, if you want to practice moving into the brain muscle connection, gently squeeze into that right glute. And breathe. Gently release that. From here, you again have a choice. Please make sure whatever you did on this first side, you were going to replicate on the second side. So if you stayed in eye of the needle pose on the first side, please stay here for this side. If you released your hands, came down to the foot on the mat, and then gently rolled yourself ever so slowly over towards the left, you're going to do that on this side. Breathe. Again, you're focusing on only taking the sensation to the place where it feels welcoming, that you can completely relax into. and that your breath can also have a relationship with the opening as well. Meaning that as you place your focus on your breath, you might actually begin to feel the muscles and the tension unwind. One more cycle of breath. From wherever you are, gently, slowly bring your body into a space of unwinding. And then when you're ready, gently take your final space of relaxation. So whether it's legs on the chair or legs on a bolster, blanket over the body, eye bag over the eyes, whatever you need to find the place of final integration for your practice today. Believe it or not, we worked this entire 75 minutes just so that we could get to this space, so that we could take the time to integrate all of the new movements, all of the new sensations, the new reconnection of proprioceptive sense, meaning that how we used our feet, how we used our ankles, how we went back into our vestibular sense of our ears, how we released some of the focus that we keep for our balance and our sense of sight. Use this time to soften, surrender, and feel. Gently, slowly, begin to find your way back. Allow your body to move however it feels best and yummy. Come back into your breath. Find that deep belly breath and let it move all the way up into the rib cage, breathing through the nose. Exhaling, releasing whatever no longer serves out through the nose. If your body says yes, use your breath to bring your arms up over your head and stretch. Fingers to toes, bones to skin. Let it go. And gently draw the knees high into the chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. When you're ready, roll over onto your side. Connect to your body there. And then gently bring yourself upright into a seated position with your hands in prayer, thumbs at the heart point on your sternum. You guys, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your practice today. I honor the divine in you that is the divine in me, that is the divine in all of us. Namaste. May the blessings be.